Principle number 7 is about cadence, synchronization, and cross-domain planning. So why do we need it? So cadence is a good thing because that beat that we get, that time box, if you like, forces us to aim for an accountability period to say, hey, look, we said we're going to do this. Let's get it done. So that's the cadence side of it. So the shorter time boxes are better because they provide us faster learning. We said we're going to do this. Did we do it? No, we didn't. What did we learn? How can we improve the next cadence? And we know in SAFe we got 2 beats effectively. We got the iterations, which typically are 2 weeks. They don't have to be, but it depends on the organization context. It could be less than that, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Odd number of iterations have been found do not work well, whereas 1 or 2 weeks, either 1 week or 2 week iteration works good. 3 weeks is harder. And we want to get to that 1 and 2 week period. Why? Because that allows us to learn faster. Yes, the teams might say, well, we cannot get anything done in a week or 2 weeks, but that's the starting of the journey. Then we work together to say, how can we chunk the work into something meaningful that we can still get done in a week? So that's the cadence side. But what about synchronization? So if it's one team doing the work, that's okay. You can run on your cadence and you can do it. And then at the end of every iteration, you've got a product that you've improved, or a solution that you've either incremented or it's ready to be delivered to the market. And that's great. But then you've got teams of teams. So when you have teams of teams, the solution needs every team to contribute to it. But if the teams are running at their own different beats, in other words, they're not synchronized, our solution will not, we don't get a solution that is integrated and ready. Yes, we have continuous integration, we're continuously integrating, but it's good to have that synchronization to say all the teams will run on a 2-week iteration, and the iterations start on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, or whatever, or Monday, whatever day of the week it is. But we agree within the teams that are working together, those teams of teams, to say, this is where the iteration starts, this is when it finishes. And then we've got that synchronization. So we know at the end of each iteration, yes, we have it throughout, but certainly at the end of the iteration, we have an integrated, holistic, hanging together solution that we can then inspect, if you like, and adapt. So we can look at that solution, see what have we learned, get feedback from the stakeholders, and build that feedback into the next iteration. Now we've got cross-domain planning. So within the teams, of course, we have cross-functional teams, meaning that we got teams that are made up of individuals which have got all the skills that we need in order to deliver the solution. But now we're working in teams of teams in an agile release train, as we call it in SAFe. So we need, in that planning that we do together, to say, okay, what are we going to achieve in the next PI period? Well, we need to bring all the skills that we need. Those skills could be the people, of course, every team will have their membership, but there might be other skills that we need that are not necessarily part of every team, but they are there to support. It could be about compliance. It could be about security, architecture, UX. The context will decide what those other people are that we need in that cross-functional team. So that when we plan, we get the input from the various specialists or SME subject matter experts that we need in order to get to the right place. Now, we've mentioned this before. I mean, one of the mistakes that people make, they believe that the PI planning is about getting, let's say, the 10 weeks that you're planning, everything nailed to the lowest detail. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is, what can be achieved? What are the coarse grain objects, if you like, roughly fits in iteration 1, this is 2, 3. And then, of course, we do the individual iteration planning, and that we can refine it as we go along. But this is just to say, yes, this looks like it's something that we can achieve, and these are the set of objectives and outcomes that we can commit to as an agile release train. So that's principle.